remembrance of September 11th, 9/11. The markets today started off on a rough and rocky road. Was it because of the debate last night? Was it because of the CPI number? Maybe a combination of everything and just skittishness. One of the things that we've been bringing to you on the YouTube channel here is our current positions, which, quite frankly, today was a good day for bulls and bears. I know everyone's going to want to ask me, well, how did your algos do? So let's get that out of the way, quite frankly, first and foremost. We started off the box this morning with the volume. Look at the volume, negative momentum. It started to go negative, generates a sell signal. These little yellow dots right there, those are the trailing stop functions. So it just kicked booty as we were warning everybody in the room, hey, the momentum of the volume, the lower this thing's going, there's less volume. And then the volume reversed to positive momentum. The system went long. It did have a trailing stop. It got stopped out. Market moved sideways. Pretty much done for the day. How does this relate to performance? We'll bring it into focus for you. Here you go. A new equity high. So again, it's a great strategy here on the ES as a trading tool. The SPY model was long, got stopped out, went short, got quickly stopped out, reversed, went long. So this has been active. And the Q model's been just absolutely raking it in. Short, long. It also went short, got stopped out, reversed, and went long, and went with the trends. That's kind of an active trading model, and that's what I think it reflects what good traders do. They move with market dynamics. How did we end the day today? I give it a B minus, to be honest with you, maybe a C. The breadth of the market was 231. Volume was okay. Negative advanced decline. We're slightly oversold. We generated a daily buy signal. Maybe we go back up to 59 and test the highs one more time and stay in more of a range. Crude oil asked if we trade commodities. Well, yeah, it went short, got stopped out on a trailing profit right here. And you can see if it's a greenish or blue line, it's a winner. If it's a red line like you see here, that's a loser. So it connects the dots and it shows up here on our board. Crude oil took a bunch of trades. It was a very active trading day. So that's the algo room that is in our live trading room. So if you don't want to listen to me give out trade recs and also talk about certain things like we did today with NVDA, hit resistance. We said if the market's truly bullish, it's going to hold the pivot. This was actually a rec, and we jumped on some long NVIDIA, still long on NVIDIA. The newsletter, as I've been saying to you guys and sharing with you, and I've been quite transparent, this is this week's newsletter. I said, you guys, 9/9, this comes out we send this out to our clients on the weekends. They get this in their email box no later than Sundays. What we were talking about here, this is the orders that we're still working. These are like add-on orders. Last week, we got filled on a bunch of stuff. And advanced micro devices is one of our full long positions. It's a nice trade. 136 is our long entry. And AMD today, 149. Huge win for us over here, or a nice trade, up 5% just today alone. Bad news, not to let you know that everything's perfect here. We did get stopped out of Foot Locker. So I'll go back and examine my mental acuity of wanting to be in a retail apparel store that sells sneakers. Okay, great. Move on. MongoDB did great. Long that one. That had a nice day today. Amazon, beautiful day today. Alibaba. And you can pause the video and go through all the positions that we're in. Also, we've been talking about adding to Russell. Today we did the same thing. Added to more Russell on the dip today. One of the things that we talked about yesterday was the bear flies, the bear put butterflies. They were still profitable. Some of us unloaded those this morning because the market didn't take out the lows. We actually nailed the low of the day. In the ES, it was 55.21 was our major support target. So we had an overall good day. I don't like to brag because one of the things is it's an ongoing battle. We haven't won the war, right? So it was a good day. One of my other trades about delivering alpha is to look at the delivery stock UPS. And today, like everything else, it just absolutely got beat up with an ugly stick. But that's okay, because this is the range in which we want to be buying into sideways trading range. We didn't want to buy the top end of the range. A good average in between the low end of the range. So today gave you a good opportunity to kind of cost average in on near the lows of the day. Volume is still looking at least healthy in this environment. Is it taking off? Well, obviously you can see no, it's still in a sideways range. This might take time, but here's one of the key elements that I think is important to look at. If we're seeing the CPI, and tomorrow morning we get the PPI, Producer Price Index, there was some absolute, I would have to say, underselling by the Bureau of Labor Statistics on the Consumer Price Index. They only mentioned that crude oil and energy prices last month were down marginally. They didn't give it a lot, but everyone was looking at the core rate, which includes, of course, the rent equivalents, or at least housing prices, right? Let me show you something that is going to reflect in, as if we can stay at these levels for at least another week and a half. Reformulated blend gasoline, Rebob that's called. That's the stuff you put in your car. This is about, you take a look at the high, take a look at the low for a nanosecond, 1 week in the month of, in June. You look at the trend in July. You look at the trend in August. I'm going to expand this chart up for you because this is very important. We are at levels that we haven't seen in over a year and a half, gang. And I'm telling you something, energy prices is going to work into the deflationary cycle and give the Fed maybe a little bit more reason to cut rates. I don't think the CPI number is going to move them more than a quarter, but it's not this particular meeting. It's the meeting afterwards. And if we continue to see weakness in the energy, you keep your eyes on this. I am, and I'll help you with this through the YouTube videos. This is going to be kind of a powerful prognosticator about seeing inflation move lower. And that's going to be the key for the Fed to get, and everyone's talking about this thing about what's the neutral rate. Listen, the market right now wants to make sure that companies continue to see profits, continue to see commerce grow, and that's some of these stocks have gotten beat up because of the fear that the economy is going to be in a recession. So there is in consumer staples, consumer discretionary. I always tell people, look, if things get a little bit better, we're going to see more Amazon deliveries. Now, Amazon was up today, and we're along a portion of that position per the newsletter. I just shared with you our positions in disclosure. And the trade in Amazon still has some more upside to go. It didn't really take off like a Meta did. It really didn't accelerate relative to, and I'll just give you my comparison here. Here's Meta. Holy moly, right? So when you look at a Microsoft, for example, holy moly. So Amazon's actually got potential growth to the upside, in my humble opinion, over time. During the holidays, people are going to be looking to buy things if they have better confidence and they see things are steady, they're not going to lose their job, and prices are coming down. And if interest rates come down, man, this is a backstop like no one's business. Here's a trade for the holidays. Now, this is Signet Jeweler, Jared's. We haven't heard anything about people buying jewelry. Gold's expensive now because we just hit new highs, all-time highs this year in gold prices. But jewelry and jewelry demand might be something that could be under a lot of people's Christmas trees and during the holiday. Bottom line, I'm looking for trades, if we see that energy component still remain low, that we're going to start to see some of these consumer discretionary segments that's been abandoned by the market move higher. And how do people get things? They get it by deliveries. Companies send stuff overnight. They need to deliver and order parts, or maybe perhaps restock using UPS. So UPS, I think, has got a really good story, pays that 5% dividend yield, and I'm building a position. No, it did not explode like NVDA, but it's not a semiconductor. It's a delivery company. So these are my ideas of what to look at. You can see even Ulta Beauty today didn't do well. The trade was not in the discretionary and retail sector. Today was technology. It was about NVIDIA, semiconductors, and that was the focus of the trade. And of course, that helped lift pretty much every semiconductor. Marvell, one of our favorites as well, but our position we have now in NVIDIA, our position is obviously in AMD, as you can see. So for tomorrow, we got that producer price index, and if that shows that producers' prices came in a little bit, maybe energy had something to maybe help manufacturing, less expensive energy costs. If that translates in the producer price index, that's going to be a powerful segment or a segue into next month's numbers that people will be saying, hey, listen, man, cheaper prices is better for the consumers. And that's starting to show that trend could accelerate lower in inflation, and the Fed can then focus on the employment side of their dual mandate. And that's why I'm a little bit excited about today's numbers and today's price action. Again, looking at the advanced decline, it wasn't great because not everything went up today. Financials, we take a look at JP Morgan. I'm not going to give you a whole list of things. You can look these prices up yourself. Big debacle the other day on JP Morgan. I mean, I didn't see great volume in that. I mean, it's negative momentum on volume. I'm not excited about that. But it's interesting to note, if the economy is doing so bad and people don't have money to spend, why are they going and buying eBay, which is now a new 52-week high today? So we're not getting the whole story that we get about the consumers bad. It's a mixed story. It's conflicting stories, because you can't tell me that people don't have money and they're all going to just Walmart when you got eBay going up. A trade also that I was looking at in Square, which generated a little buy signal. But the problem is, look at the volume, 5.8 million, 10-day average volume is 5.5. So again, I'm not a big fan that Block or Square, it was off the lows. We need this to get a little bit more time. See the volume? It wasn't that great. That's what I'm showing you. So if I'm going to get excited about something, I want to see better performance longer term in the volume action. Today's story, once again, was strictly NVIDIA and the like. Supermicro, again, 7% higher. Volume, that was fairly light, 7 million versus 11 million on an average 10-day value. The big trade, you're going to hear it one more time. It was all about NVIDIA, Blackwell chip, and artificial intelligence. Even the secondary artificial intelligence segment, which would be cloud storage and, again, enterprise software, like a Snowflake. It was up today 1.7%. This was I don't want to give you a wrong number, a $230+ stock just back in February. That's a little more than 50% cut off, whacked at the knees. If this is going to start to materialize into profitability and the money CapEx spent into products for AI and data cloud storage, this stock should start to see some upside movement over the next few days. One last trade, Alibaba. Alibaba, I keep talking about this. It's kind of a PIA trade, pain in the butt. It keeps making higher lows. It rallies, breaks, makes a higher swing low than a preceding swing low. It just made rally, pulled back, made a higher swing low. What we are missing in this formula is the final breakout and the go-to movement. We got a little bit of decent volume on that trade. The relative strength's kind of looking positive. That's the PMC indicator. I'll expand this chart so you can see it much better. Here you go. For me, if we can break out of the trend consolidation choppiness, next stop 90, and then after 90, my take is this is a $100 stock. Alibaba just got listed onto other exchanges in Hong Kong. That's a positive, gives them great more exposure for the general pop in Asia to buy, general population that is, to buy and to get back into equities a little easier. This is PDD, the parent company at Temu. They had a bad rap. Their earnings they had a top line, bottom line beat. They gave poor guidance because they're like, we don't know about the consumers. Well, nobody knows about the consumers because we couldn't figure out what the Federal Reserve is going to do. And if the Federal Reserve cuts rates, guess what? The consumers have a little bit more buying power. This might be a trade to be focused on. That orange candle means it's a high closed doji. What was the issue? There wasn't a lot of volume. So you give this another day or two and see if a real trend starts to develop. But we do have some value in the market, that a lot of stocks that got beat up, they didn't really rally. This is an example of a stock that got beat up. Another stock that's gotten not, it's a permanent beat down. It's Estee Lauder, their parent company to Clinique and other makeups. Eventually, I believe this stock will see an upside move, probably year's end, or if not by the beginning of or near the election, maybe not because of the election, just give it another maybe 8 weeks or so. This is a stock should be back up to test the channel of the resistance up here near 100, if not the top end 96. So, there's some upside coming in that particular trade. If we forced this week's pivot support or at least suppressed it and it holds and they knock it down one more time and can't get through it, stocks that are that bearish that have taken out lows, they pretty much have capitulated all the bulls, and maybe the shorts are squeezed a little bit and we should see a lift. So you want to watch Estee Lauder, another consumer discretionary stock. And my all-time consumer discretionary stock, if you have money in the bank, if you paid your rent, if you paid your electricity, you got the babysitters, you go to Vegas, man. And MGM and MGM online betting, I would prefer to be a buyer of them before I buy a DKNG, a DraftKings. DraftKings was outperformance today. It beat to the upside, as you can see, almost 5%, 4.62% to the upside. I'm still looking to buy an MGM as an experience and a travel experience and entertainment, but I need those technicals to improve. Maybe we come back down into the 33 zone. Watch that as another idea as we get into the end of the year. So there's my little wrap up for today. No, I did not give up on UPS. I'm still believing it's going to deliver some alpha as the delivery company, but it's going to take maybe some time. And you know what? Let me point out to you with AMD, I didn't just get into that trade today. We were scaling into that trade. We've been in this trade for over a week. And then finally, we bought in looking to buy against support. One of the main reasons is as the market was coming down, what's the trend of the volume down here? Going up. So that little W bottom pattern is now prevailing, and we had substantial, decent volume. The point is, we got good things for being patient. We were structured. We were disciplined. We scaled our orders in, and that's what I like to teach people. Getting rich quick and overnight and day trading is great. We have those models. But for stock traders, knowing how to get in, when to get in, and how to stagger orders, that's important. And that's what we like to help teach people, to be on the right side of the market so they're in the market, kind of stress-free. And when things move, they're taking advantage of the upside. And that's how we got a nice position out of AMD. Thanks for listening. We'll update you if you got more questions. Type them in the room. I'll get to those answers, especially the ones that we said, what about commodities? And I showed you the crude oil market. Thanks a lot for listening. If you like what you see, give a thumbs up. We'll continue to give you some good trade recs and support resistance levels, and then give some ideas on, again, the overall trend of this crazy market. Don't rule out a move in IWM. It just didn't have a big move today because the financials were under pressure. Take care, God bless, and we'll see you on the next YouTube update. Thanks, everyone.